morning and welcome to Siasa. This is a show where we discuss matters, politics and leadership, and we like to be keen and focused on issues that affect the youth of Kenya. My name is Miriam Wende. I'll be your host today. I'm the editor-in-chief here at Pulse Kenya. Welcome to the show. We are so glad that you have joined us. Today our topic of discussion is, does your vote count? And we'd like to look into a developing behavior among the youth of Kenya, where there's a lot of lack of interest, lack of enthusiasm towards the election process, and even towards politics in general. And today is one of those shows where you get to meet your heroes. My panelists are the wonderful people who bring you news on Pulse every day, all the content you interact with, on our website, on our social media pages. These are some of the brilliant minds behind it. So without further ado, I'd allow them to introduce themselves. And gentlemen, please indicate whether you are a voter registered in the Republic of Kenya. We can start with the gentleman to my left.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. Mimi wananiita Dennis Milimo, muhariri wa kitengo cha burudani hapa Pulse Live Kenya, na nafurahi sana leo kuweza kuwa hapa so that we can be able to talk about politics today. Manake nimesema burudani lakini politics leo tutakuwa naizungumza hapa leo. Na nafurahi sana kwa sababu tumeweza kukutana leo. Also have a voice on what we are going to have probably come August 9, manake kila mtu atakuwa anaelekea kwa debe. Sasa leo nataka tujue nani atakuwa anafanya nini, na mimi kama vile umeuliza registered voter, piga kura mara ya kwanza mwaka 2000 na ngapi? 17.
Very nice.
Asante sana.
Karibu. Thank you. And I hope mmenote your Swahili. Next.
No pressure. My name is Dennis. Dennis Mwangi. I'm the news and current affairs political editor in Pulse Kenya. I'm excited to be here. Let's talk about why the youth don't want to vote. And I'm a registered voter in the Republic of Kenya.
Awesome. Karibu sana.
Hi, thank you for describing me as a hero, at least for once in my life. Yes, my name is Cyprian Kimutai Limo. I'm a feature journalist here at Pulse, both as a writer and as a video journalist. And yes, I am a registered voter. But I'm not going to vote.
Ooh, yeah. We'll get into that. I'm really curious about why that is. And before we kick off our discussion, I'd like to put some figures on the table. And these figures are public information, meaning that they're available to anyone, and they're from the IEBC. Gentlemen, IEBC has so far registered 1,031,645 new voters. Those are fresh new voters. And to put a bit of more context into it, anyone who was 15 years old in 2017, anyone who was 15 years old is now eligible to vote. So anyone who was in Form 1, they are eligible to vote. And according to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, this population is 3,118,000. Those are 3 million young people who are supposed to be new voters. And according to IBC, only a third have registered. So it is clear that maybe the youth do not want to interact with the election process. I'd like you gentlemen to tell me, when you voted in the last election, what pushed you to vote? What were you convinced of? And if you voted, that is. We can start with Mr. Milimo.
Yeah, so 2017 time yangu ya kwanza kwenda kupiga kura, unajua tena. But unajua wakati ule ilikuwa ni kwanza you want to feel how this process is done, unajua. Manake wewe hii ni mara yako ya kwanza, you have the mandate kuweza elect ule mtu ambao umetaka. There's a leader I've been seeing manifesto yake wakati ule ameweza kupatia, umeweza kuipitia, ama kama ni kumsikiza umeweza kumsikiza, and is the time now umesema wacha nipatie kura yangu nijue kama itakuja kumsaidia pale mbele. Mara yako ya kwanza kupiga kura, unajua. So for me ilikuwa ni ile how it feels kwanza to be part of this electoral process.
Just to get familiar with what goes on when I get into the polling station, where Okay.
Naanzia wapi unajua? Kitambo unajua mwaka 2013 mimi mzee kidogo. Wakati huo nilianza kupiga nilikuwa nimebahatika kuwa mmoja wa wale clerks wa pale kuweza kuonyesha watu utapiga kura pale, kitoka pale utachukua karatasi MCA pale, kutoka pale unajua? Maana hiyo ndio ilikuwa zile wakati sasa tumeanza kuingia katika new constitution. Sasa makaratasi yalikuwa mengi. Sasa unaanza kujifamiliarize unajua lakini asili kupata nafasi ya kupiga kura.
All right. That's a very interesting context.
Yeah.
D2, did you vote in the last election?
I voted, but my first election was 2013. Just like Milimo, I was driven by curiosity. I was now of age to decide the future of election. No, I just
you were the leaders of today at that time.
I just wanted to experience the process, and it was a transitional period where it was a new government, and I actually believed that something might actually happen. And in 2017, I was more mature. It was not that excitement anymore. It was just understanding how important this process is. Yes.
So this second time round, you voted out of an understanding.
Yes.
You actually listened to the candidates and you were convinced by so and you went and cast a vote.
Yes.
All right. CP, you are a registered voter. Did you vote in the last election?
Yes, I just turned 18. So I wanted to vote, but not because I was driven by policies or driven by change. I wanted to vote because majority of the people in my family were voting for a certain politician, and I wanted to be on the opposite side. I kind of enjoy being in the feud, causing trouble and things. Yes. I want to be different. So I wanted to disappoint them a bit and make them, if we won, I would have wanted to make fun of them. So yeah, sadly we didn't win. But I wasn't on the side of the candidate at the time. It was just for fun.
Okay.
Yeah, but this year I have reasons why I'm not voting. Concrete reasons.
And we can get down to it. Are you planning to vote come August 9th? CP, we can start with you.
No, to be honest, I do not want to vote.
Give us the short answer of why you don't want to vote. The shortest
answer. The shortest answer.
Yes.
I think the system is flawed. I think the idea of having to choose, especially presidential, we have to settle on these two horses, quote unquote. I think that's flawed. Whenever people tell me that my vote will be wasted if I vote for someone else, I think that's really dumb. And also the idea of because I see it's politically affiliated. Most of the politicians or the MPs or MCAs are politically affiliated. And they're not good to me. In my opinion, they're not good leaders. And so if I decide to vote for an independent, they'll struggle. In the long run, they'll struggle. Yeah, and I don't like that as well.
All right.
I feel they
that
don't.
Was a very long. There's a lot to unpack from that. Yes,
but he has touched on a point that they're saying the system probably. Who are these people? Because we have the IBC. Now, after the IBC, we also have the influential people who are probably in government, So, who are you targeting when you say probably the system or something?
I'm sure the system is... Okay, I can't put a face on the system, but they're on the back end. CC, we are editors here. We know what back end is. We know who controls the website. So the people don't see us, and the people don't see the editor-in-chief, but there's someone controlling the website. So that's what I mean by the system. We can't see them, but they're dictating who and who can win. And also, I can point to an example. The Speaker Muturi, over the weekend, he mentioned that he had been talked to and tried to be convinced that he should deputize maybe Raila or deputize Ruto because in their opinion he has no chance in the race. So basically what he was trying to say is the system wamesema it's either these two and you can't vote for anyone else. If you vote for anyone else, you're wasting your vote.
So for you, Cyprian, the major point is that you feel like it's not genuine.
Yes.
Like your vote, even if you cast your vote, you feel like it won't count in the end. That someone else already has decided what's happening, and regardless of whether you wake up on that day and go or not, it's decided.
Yes.
Okay, we'll unpack that also. Though I don't think
For some seats, not
For
all
some
seats,
seats.
especially
And for
presidential.
you-
But for like MCA and MP, yes, I think I have a voice. Especially MCA, I think I have a voice. But now when it comes to senator, governor, presidential,
Yeah.
Wow. At this juncture, as we digest what Cyprian has just told us, and even before Dennis and Milimo tell us what they think, I invite you, viewers, to post a comment in the comment section. Our question today is, do you think your vote counts? I'd like you to tell us in the comment section, and we'll be reading those comments out loud. Coming back to to Mwangi, my question is still the same one. Are you planning to vote in the August 9th election?
My conscience tells me I should vote,
Yeah.
but I want to make myself be the subject of the elements in which the elections will be held in. If I'll be working, I might not vote.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. Not a good reason. Not a
looking
good
for
reason
reasons not
because I know your employer and I know your employer supports democratic rights. So I know you'll be given a chance to go vote. That's not a very good reason.
Yeah.
But I feel like I share some of Cyprian's sentiments where some of these seats, even if not a particular system that is maybe behind curtains, I would say an element of the system is also public perception. There's always this public perception behind elections that it's always a two-horse race. So if none of these two horses are my preference, I might not be inclined to vote.
Okay.
And because now I know my option may not make it into the top two, I might be undecided about it. But for these other lower seats, I might think about it more intentionally. Yes.
Oh my goodness. Milimo, I'm hoping you have another view outside the way we've centered the whole political conversation around the individuals, the politicians. I hope you're going to tell us something very, very different. So here is your chance. Are you voting in the general election?
Yes, will be my general question answer. Yes, I'm voting in the upcoming general election. One, because from let's say where I come from right now, I want to see the county leadership being changed. How should that happen? It means that I have to participate, make my vote count, so that the leadership can be able to change. So for me, it is a big yes. I'm going to participate in the election. Because we are saying that we have probably the two horses in the race. Plus others escorters.
donkeys.
No, we will not.
Yes.
No. We can't say.
You can say participants probably. Who are also in the race. But now we are going to have, at the end of the day, we must have a candidate who is going to be the president of this republic, whether we like it or not, because we have right now, plus the 1 million you have mentioned, now we have around 21 million voters who are going to participate in the next general election. Probably half of this will participate, or let's say 15 million, the 10 watakuwa hapo katikati, bado wanaweza kuregarega wajui kura wateka wapi, unajua. But at the end of the day, whether you vote or not, we are going to have a president. So for me, I will have to make sure kwamba, as much as probably the candidate you are targeting at and make it to the final stage, sasa kwamba podium ni yako pale Kasarani, you are taking the Bible yote kama ni 10, unajua. But tutakuwa na hiyo nini umesema, nili participate kwa hii process na jamaa wangu ni number 3, unaona. Vote zake zikihesabiwa zinakuja 52. Hiyo 52 moja ni yako, unaona? So hiyo mimi inanifanya nikuwa na ile mori ya kusema I will participate in the election, na nitaweza kupiga kura hiyo siku. Najua mwajiri atanipa ruksa akaweza kupiga kura mtaani. So I will be voting this year.
All right. Let's look at the comments. And our comment section is buzzing right now on Facebook. So if you're not already dropping your comments, just go there to the comments and see. Well, there are some who are saying, sasa kura ni kitu ya kunyima. That one is not relevant. Sorry about that. Wapi, responding to do you think your vote counts? Victor Simani has said, wapi, if for the past years imekuwa in account, then hatungekuwa with such a president. We really didn't elect that guy. That's what Victor Simani says. Brenda Kosgei is responding to another listener. People are posting so many different comments, but let's get back to the discussion where I've had Cyprian and Mwangi saying that they don't really believe in the system, they don't believe in the election system. And my question to you now would be, edging on what Milimo has said, don't you believe that even the little that you do, in case you go and vote for that candidate, you've reduced the votes that will go to the candidate who has stolen, as you are saying. Don't you think that has an impact in the election, in the conversation, so that eventually when this person gets into office, anaingia akijua, I was voted for by only 50,000 people, and the votes that got me here are 500. So the second person still is a worthy candidate. Don't you think that will bring some sense of awareness amongst our politicians? We can start with Mwangi.
I think that the election is a special time where now we can command the attention of our leaders. This is the only time within this 5-year period, then now we can say this is what we want. Because after the elections, you can protest as much as you can, but it's really a secure tenure for any of these leaders, and to match a voice, this is what we have to do. But now, when it comes to those top tier seats, I don't think, who like Milimo said, Kenya will have a president, whether we vote or we don't. I don't feel like inclined to vote because they might not support what my grassroots people want, you know. Like that is the person like I want to vote for, not the president or his deputy. I want to vote for maybe my MCA, my MP at that stage.
I'd like to throw a spanner in the works on that comment. Because a lot of youth are voting, and as a lot of youth are watching right now, and the general feeling is that one, we detest our politicians, we detest the way things are being conducted, but how much have we done to even understand how the government works? For example, when you say that I will not vote for the president, do you actually know what the president owes you as a citizen of this republic? Do you know what your MP owes you? Do you know what your governor owes you? As Milimo has said, he wants to see the county where he's from flourishing. So he wants to see a change of administration. He's participating and doing his part in trying to bring that change. Do you think as youth we are aware of what the MCA, the MP, whoever should do it? CP, what do you think?
I don't think so. I've had so many people, especially young people, castigate an MCA or an MP for something they're not mandated to do. For example, I'll say in my home, like at home in South Sea, we usually, during the rainy season, we have a really huge issue when it comes to roads and sewage and like floods. And most of the time, we'd argue with the MCA, and that's not his mandate. For him to come and resurface the road again, to handle all the drainage, that's not his duty. We're supposed to talk to the MP of Langata. And the MP of Langata, at the same time, when you contact him, it appears like he's mixed, like he has so much to do, like his responsibilities and like duties, like they expect so much from him, because at the same time people don't understand Kibra is not part of Langata anymore. Like there's so much confusion. They still want him to handle all the situation in Kibra, and it's not his mandate. So a lot of people don't understand. But that's not the reason why I'm not voting. Yes, because I sort of understand why. I sort of understand the rules, the basic rules, I understand. But if I do vote, that also means I'm trying to legitimize a government that I do not want. For instance, if I do vote for the presidential candidate and they lose, and then someone like Raila or Ruto win, they can say I voted and I participated in the election, so I'm legitimizing his results.
Okay.
Yes, and I still believe the system is flawed. So you see, if I do vote, I'm kind of hypocritic at the same time.
Okay. You're going against your own. All right. Milimo, what do you think about that?
I wanted to check out kwanza, kuna mtu hapa anaitwa Generali Wandati. Jamaa anasema kwamba yeye hata kura hiyo kadi ya kura hana. He's being honest with us. Unajua? Anatuambia mimi hata kadi sina and I'm not voting. Unajua? So kuna hiyo point CP anasema kwamba hiyo feeling kwamba your vote is not counting anywhere, sio? But most of the time, look at the opposition leaders when they are talking somewhere. Always atakwambia wale watu walimpigia kura kama ni milioni 8, atakuwa na ile power kwamba mimi I control these 8 million people hapa Kenya. Nikitaka kusema kitu they will come. Unajua? So at least wanna feel they have that voice, and the people who trusted them, yes they did not win, but they have that large people number of people that still trust in them. Unajua? Wale wanaamini kwamba this guy would have been the right man to handle probably kama ni county, kama ni ward, unajua, kama ni constituency. So kuna hizo nini hapo. So any given time hao watu wote watakuwa wanajua kuna mtu wetu ambaye angetusaidia mahali. But when wanasema the majority will always win, so ule jamaa alikuja pale mbele amewin. What should we do now, because our favorite haja win, si ndio? But kuna mtu wako in power. For us now to push this person who is in power to do what he is mandated to do. Kama ni kupitisha law in parliament right now, kuna topic ambayo tulikuwa tumesema tutaguzia kidogo. Na I've seen also kwa comment section people are talking about it, lower food prices na nini. Unajua, there are people who are mandated to do that job in parliament, make sure that the policies are right and what. But now sisi collectively, all the 21 million people wenye tulikuwa napiga kura, now we have to channel our energies kwa watu wenye wako in office kwamba this is the right thing to do for us.
What I'm hearing from Milimo is more than just placing our vote. The next thing is the youth of Kenya is we should follow up. That even if we have a really pathetic leader for an MP, then it's also our civic duty as the citizens of our nation to call him out, to follow the due process, and if it's possible to even remove him from office. Going by, let us take a tangent, a shift, and go into that trending hashtag. It has caused a lot of commotion amongst especially the youth, because it's mostly the youth who are online. So it's a trending hashtag, and the influencers of our time, the people who have a voice, some are for it, some are against it, and we are hearing nothing from the politicians about it. No one so far in the political space has addressed it. I'm wondering, gentlemen, what are your thoughts on that hashtag? Having followed the conversation so far, how do you think it is placed within our election year? How does it inachangia aje kwa our conversation in elections this year?
Please allow me to go first.
Go first.
One, the hashtag itself, well manufactured, well tailored, reduce food prices, very well captured. That one is a very genuine concern for every Kenyan. Unajua? But now the manner in which we are presenting these concerns out there is now what is bringing the problem here, because now we have turned a very genuine concern from Kenyans into a political fight. Because when you look at online, everybody who is commenting on the hashtag, go on Twitter, go through the comments, everybody who is commenting on this hashtag ako tu na vitu zake zenye anasema na is comparing side A and B. Unajua? Kuna zile za huyu ndiye ameharibu economy akaipeleka, huyu ameharibu akapeleka huku, huyu amepeleka hizi akakuja ikakuwa nyingi, huyu amekuja akapunguza, unajua. But the main point for such a hashtag ilikuwa ni it is a genuine concern. Kila mtu ukienda kununua chumvi, it is high price. Ukienda kununua mafuta, it is high price.
Okay.
Do something, unajua. Who are the right people to talk to with such a hashtag? Get a few MPs, lobby for the hashtag,
Okay.
take it to parliament. But now, because I saw, I think a politician or a governor who said some bitter truth, kwamba with all the hashtags, they're not going to change anything if we are not going to channel them to the right direction. You know,
okay.
because we have to address them to the right leaders.
Okay.
That is parliament.
Yes.
So that something can be done.
Okay.
Food does not grow anywhere. Hapa nje ati utapita kwa street uchukue ukienda nyumbani. Ukitaka food inauzwa kwa street, you have to get your money.
Yeah.
Upeane exchange uchukue hiyo. But now the root cause ni si mtu ensure kwamba all the policies of the farm inputs. Si bei ikishuka chini.
Yes.
Mbona nitukuzie tomato shilingi 5?
Aha.
But mimi nimenunua mbolea na shilingi 6,000. Why should I sell you a tomato at 3 bob? Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense. Mwangi, what do you think? Lower food prices. Are you for it, against it?
I am for it. It's a genuine concern
Yeah.
because it also affects me.
Yeah.
And the intentions behind it are genuine, but the political connotation that has become associated, like Mulimu has said,
Yes.
takes away from the conversation that Kenyans are trying to have. And if you look at the comparisons that people are making online, they are making comparisons for like prices for like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And these things have compounded over 10 years time.
Yes.
So to resolve something that has compounded over such long a time, it needs a structured discussion, which I don't see Kenyans taking up the mantle and like what he has said, making a bill about it. Why are things so expensive? This is the pressure points that we need to take care of. Also, there are people who have come up with theories that farmers in our food baskets are throwing away their produce because they're either being bought at such low prices by the middlemen.
Yeah.
So this is not a one-sided thing where politicians are to blame.
Okay.
This goes back to us as Kenyans to have a structured discussion on what are these pressure points, why are things like the way they are. Some of the things are taxation, which are at a level where Kenyans cannot handle. This is a political discussion. Some of these taxations involve international bodies. So the casual manner in which we are tweeting about it shows genuine concern and outrage, but it needs to go to the next step.
Be channeled properly.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing from the two of you is the conversation is worthwhile. It's something we all need to discuss. But the manner in which we've gone about it is not helping us. That's what I'm hearing.
Because it's helping in raising awareness.
Oh, it's raising.
Yeah, because if I was complaining, I thought I was the only one who
couldn't afford
outside with 1,000 for Belgian capital.
Every time I have to do monthly shopping, it just
you don't understand what went where. How much.
Because it's not, I'm not even buying luxuries, just basic stuff. But every month I budget this much. Next month I think this budget haitoshi, and this is what I used last month. You see, so it's a concern where everyone is feeling the pinch.
All right, Cyprian,
before we go to CP, I would just say that for this discussion to go and achieve what we are looking for, we need all to sober up. Just address the elephant in the room. Vitu zimeshoot. What is the right
what
channel?
Can we do?
But the blame game that we are throwing around, sijui ni nani, effects sijui imetokea kwa nani, unajua? Hiyo hata kwanza is not mostly the common cause of what we are experiencing right now. Yes.
Cyprian, what do you think?
There's nothing more to add as a Gen Z. That was an inside joke. As a Gen Z, I like we are used to using social media to fight for our rights, to fight for whatever demands that you have. And I liked what Caroline Mutoko said. when she highlighted how she's against the hashtag, not the hashtag itself, but the way it's being used. Because even for instance, if we go through the Pulse Live Kenya Facebook pages, you'll see the hashtag all of our comments. So us as a media company, how are we going to respond to the hashtag? We don't have any authority. All we can do is just amplify it through writing articles, doing videos about it. But we're not really channeling all the conversation to the right people. For instance, if we as a youth or if we as a majority of Kenyans can parade the two principles, the president, the deputy, Raila, whoever is aspiring to be whatever, a president, if we can sit down with them directly, tuwaambie like generally what we feel, tusiwaambie ati we like them because watatupatia pesa. Because as a youth tuko nayo tabia, we'll sugarcoat whatever we want and praise you because we know at the end utatupatia 1,000 ama 500. But ukishatoka hapa, we'll go to another rally and demand the same thing. So the politicians know exactly what we want. They know exactly what will entice us. Wataenda kwa hii rally and they'll not shift the focus to such a hashtag. They'll shift it to something else. Wanajua wakitusi Raila, wakitusi president, tutarespond. We've seen recently there's a lot of insults, there's a lot of bad talk, of bad politics going around because chants kwa crowd ni mimi nataka kusikia hiyo. Unasema nini kuhusu Raila huyo mwizi? Unasema nini kuhusu huyo mganga? Unasema nini kuhusu mse mzee? They enjoy that and they'll never have a similar conversation. They won't be held accountable to talk about what exactly we're going through. They don't even care. To be honest, I don't think they care. So even if the hashtag trends for a while, sioni anything happening.
Nothing will come of it. And I'd like us to let's adopt a stand where we are helpful, even in our conversation. Can we empower the youth out there? Is it possible, let me even ask from here, is it possible for the youth of Kenya to change our mentality about how we are governed, about the politics of our nation? Is it possible for there to be a shift from Kenyans online who are really shouting about this one thing for this season, then it dies down? Can we shift from that into some things like what I've seen being done in other democracies where people actually come together, even if it's online, and they prepare a bill, maybe the way Eric Omondi has done his, and they actually take it to parliament and they follow it through and they get things done that way. Is it possible for that shift to occur in Kenya? Milima, what do you think?
Kenya shida yetu ni kuna ile mentality tunaita mtu wetu mentality. I want to come up with a bill, but I'm like, MP wangu atafeel nini akiona I'm coming from his constituency na mimi ndio nimefront bill kwamba salary yake ipunguzwe, unajua? Because sisi tunaumia. Haya, another thing inakuwa ni so kila mtu wako pale hataki kumake hiyo right decision kwa sababu wanajua watu wangu mtu wangu atafeel nini, unaona? So it has not reached that point ya kusema it is about me. Unaona? Ikifika ile point ya it is about me, Miriam you say it is about you, D2 says it is about him, CP says the same, so we are already 4 people. So when we gang up the 4 of us plus other people who are like minded like us, tunapata tuko already na watu kama 10. Now when we champion for something, it can make sense. But ni ile sometimes we voice something, but ni ile ni wewe tu na somebody tries to back you up, but at the back of his mind na mtu wangu atafikiria nini, unaona? Because that is also what is going to affect our election right now. We can have the right candidate kwa ballot box, but because of hiyo mentality ya mtu wangu amesimamia wapi, that is where I'm going to cast my vote.
So first we do away with all this mtu wangu having allegiance.
Just reason like a sober Kenyan useme what is right for me. Think
about yourself. What do I want? Okay.
What do I want?
Mwangi, do you think it's possible for there to be a shift?
It's possible, but it might take a very long time. And until we come out of that notion that he's talking about, let's be selfish for once as Kenyans. The same way we think about our personal wellness, because this is something that's really having an effect right now where people are taking charge of their personal wellness. Who am I around? The people who I hang around, how do they make me feel? And cutting people who you don't think are good for you.
Okay.
That same selfishness should be channeled to politics. And like, who among this person or people vying for whatever seat, this road outside my house is in bad condition. Let me be selfish about it.
Yes.
Whoever is going to promise me that this road will be repaired or this thing will be changed that I care about. And you'll find that we care about the same things.
Yeah.
And you see about the bigger picture, someone in, and there are leaders who communicate this very well. Someone from Western, someone from Coast, someone from Northeastern, we all just care about the same things.
Yeah.
So if we can be selfish about it, we will find that everyone is coalescing about the things that we want, and might take a long time, but we might get there eventually.
All right. What can we do towards this election? And Cyprian, as you give your remark on that, I'd like you to address other young people like you. What advice, what do you want to see in the political sphere for you to be more interested, for you to participate?
I'd want to be at the forefront when it comes to policies. I am of the opinion that there's this idea that you seem to represent me, that you already know what I want.
Okay.
But if I tell you this, that's the if, for example, if you're vying for an MP in my community, and then I come to you and I tell you this is what I want, blah blah blah, then you have the right to go and take it up front and push for it. But it's usually mixed up with politics, mixed up with political parties. So for instance, if I come with a policy that's against your party, if I tell you that I want this and this, but your party leader says, no, this is something we cannot do. So when it comes to policies, I want to be at the forefront. And I think it's the same for other young people. I think to make a point where we're tired. We see policies being driven, but there's no implementation. We can draft bills, we draft a lot of documents and say, this is what our young people have said, this is what you're going to do, but there's no implementation. So, mbona ipote katikati? Mbona nikuambie tu hivi alafu my job is done. Nataka nikuambie, and then you come back, tell me this is the progress we've had, what can we do? Tuongeza more ama to change? And then we push it together to the final line.
Yeah, so what I'm hearing from you ni vijana out there, all of us want practical solutions.
Yes.
Come show me what you have already done, then I'll consider whether I'll vote for you or not.
Yes.
Also listen to me, I've also heard you saying that you want to be involved in the policy making process, to be heard right from the get-go so that they're aware of what exactly are your concerns, so that by the time they go make the law out there and it is implemented, you feel you are part of it.
Yes.
So do we feel like if the youth already are not going to pick up that voters card? I've seen in the comments that there is one mwenye amesema luckily hata sijaendea hiyo voters card when we're asking does your vote count? If we haven't crossed over from that point of even doing the bare minimal, kwa sababu kuchukua your voters, kuregister as a voter is the bare minimal. Whether you go to vote or not, no one is normally coerced or pushed to vote.
Yeah.
So could you discuss that?
Yeah, to that point, can I ask you also a question? Should we make voting mandatory? Because that's a conversation the US had in 27, the last election, sorry. They wanted to ask, should it be mandatory? So should we all vote because yes, it's the law. If you don't vote, these are the consequences.
Milimo, you can answer, but you can read the comments for us, then give your answer to that.
Sure. Let me see. There's a good number of people who are tuned in already. Kuna Joan Chipkoski or something. yeye analilia ile hashtag ya lower food prices. Yeah, tumesema do it the right way, sisi hatuna tabu, manake we also supporting the same thing, you are buying from the same shop, unajua shopping from everywhere, ukienda na thao unarudi na 10 bob, we are in the same nini, but let's channel it the right way, si ndio? Alafu naona kuna jamaa hapa anaitwa Mobat Manjahi anasema the system is broken, your votes does not count, only the ones who count the votes. Jamaa mpaka figure out this shit, anajua your vote kidogo ndio I count, lakini the people who count the votes are the one doing the most. Yeye ni maoni yake. Alafu kuna hapa King Legacy anasema kwamba yeye is not going to vote if the price of oil is going to remain the same. Yeye Manguli hapa amesema sana. So let me see another one. Kuna nani? Kuna John Aksanti, huyu anasema kwamba yeye hawezi kupiga kura manake for the president. Yeye amesema specific for the president. Haiwezi. Kuna Mali Safi naona pia you are in. George Tosh, asante sana. Victor Simani pia anasema kwamba in the past few years kama tungekuwa napiga kura ama zingekuwa the kura zingekuwa zina count, probably we will not have the leaders we have right now in office. So manipulation CP ni kama nakubaliana na wewe pale, anasema kidogo ni kama they doctor some of these things so that we have the people we have in office right now. He believes so. Acha tuangalie. Alafu kuna Okinyo Nyasuba yanasema she is ready even though given the leaders we most of the time we are given the leaders we did not elect. So sad, right? Kama Marisha left, iende left. So yeye anasema she is ready to vote but now hapo mbele anaweza amini kura yake na wale watu ambao watakuwa wamewekea kwa box. That is it. Alafu swali ulikuwa unauliza nini?
Cyprian.
Yes, should it be mandatory to vote?
Mandatory. Now that is where democracy comes in,
Yes.
Because democracy also involves around allowing people to make their own conscious choices in life, unajua. So when you tell me it is a must, you also, because I might also have my reasons why I'm voting, why I'm not voting, unajua. So in a democracy, in a democratic country, these two sides should all count, because you have your reasons, I have my reasons, all on a joint table, everybody should be heard, unajua. So you're saying it is mandatory, it might not be necessary, because at the end of the day it is not mandatory that I'm going to vote for a certain person, you know. You are just making mandatory that I have to go and vote. Then that will arise the question of how many spoiled votes will we have by the end of the election period, because now we have 21 million people who are going to vote, but now tumelazimisha watu kila mtu aende, the 21 waende kupiga kura. We find tuko na kura 21 million, but now the 10 million are spoiled because these people probably never wanted to go in the ballot, but it
we forced them. All right.
So I think in a democratic country it is good to allow everybody
to make that choice.
To make that
Mwangi,
choice.
are you of the same opinion?
Yeah, like if you're going to let people choose destiny over their lives, in terms of their careers, in terms of their families, it might well boil down to something as crucial as voting.
I also think, we should allow everyone to make that free choice. It is also teaching, for example, me imagining that someone who was 15 is voting this time, I'm very curious to see what will persuade them, how they are viewing the world, what kind of a future they want. So I'd be very interested to watch them as they interact with the whole election process, as they interact with the candidates, so that we have actual genuine information. When you force people to do things, most times they won't do it out of their hearts, they won't do it out of conviction. This section who has said this? Yes, I am ready. Even though we are given leaders we didn't elect, so sad. This time we don't want This time we don't want irregularities. That's what Okinyo Nyasuba says. She is voting. Though it's sad that most times her candidate didn't win, she says she doesn't want irregularities. And for you editors, the question I'd like to pose now is, what can the youth do to ensure that their vote counts? What can we as young people do to meet in an age group that is less than us? So what can be done for us to feel empowered, for us to feel like our voice is heard? What do you think can be done? We can start with Mwangi.
I think by sharing. Because 1 million people are made by one. Yeah.
To get 1 million. Yeah.
So if I believe this is what should be done and this is what can be done, I can share my voice to Milimo.
Yeah.
Try to convict him and say, show him why this should be like this. Milimo in turn will also talk to someone else. I remember a few weeks ago I was in a matatu coming to Nairobi, and there was this middle-aged and they were convincing each other. So Milimo will tell me something and like I don't know about it. Milimo is telling me.
Yeah.
And he will feel so convicted that I also feel convicted, but someone else listening and they know the true representation of the fact will know that this is not the
lie.
Yeah. And I had to tell them, hey, listen, some of the points you guys are raising, about 6 people, and there were only 3. So whenever you have that opportunity to tell people this is what is right for our democracy, this is what is right, share. That's the only way we can win over people who think a certain way about these things.
All right. Milimo, what do you think?
Yeah. As they say, I wish I was that philosopher back then. You are always ready to make a decision because you know this and this will be aligned this way. So even a rahisi. So if we make sure that all the Kenyans are informed in the right way with the right information, then as the youths we are on the win. But now, then again, we have to participate in this, let's say like an electoral process, Make sure that we have all participated in the electoral process. That is our call to action number 1, that we want change. Unaona bado as the youths tutakuwa tumejaribu, lakini sasa the system imetufail. Unaona? So as far as participating in the kama ni electoral process, kama ni hizo bills, kama ni kama ni policies you want to push for, but make sure kwamba hawa watu pia to make sure kwamba
and let me retrieve the exact data so that I don't mince my words. Out of the new because in the ongoing registration exercise, a voter is allowed to even change their polling station. You can transfer where you will vote in this election. And according to the statistics, people are registering in high numbers. But the other thing that's happening is efficiency.
That is into ama out.
They're going into because the process of transferring is unaenda where you want to vote. I'm also interested in what is going on in that constituency. Why are people running to vote there? And just to give you more information, I come from that constituency. And our MP is Major. Out of Nairobi, Juja constituency, I think we'll remember this one from the by-election and how chaotic it was. Out of Nairobi, Juja has seen 6,491 transfers. Thika town, which they are very near to each other, probably voted in the last election, but now they want to vote in another place. What do you think is happening there? You can start with CP.
I'm really confused because is it driven by the economy? Are people moving out from the community? There's something related to economy. Maybe people are moving to cheaper houses and they can find cheaper houses in such and such places. But I hope it's not the second point. I hope it's not the second.
So probably that explains for Embakasi, that is saying probably
CBD.
It is CBD. It's CBD. Because these are the people who control CBD na nini. During election times, people who have voted, seme kama 2017, 2013, ikifupatia 2 days off. Unajua. So sometimes it's inconvenient going to Bungoma on a mchana, vote tomorrow, then travel back the same day because probably let's say we are voting on a Monday, Tuesday you have to table ikifika hiyo time because now fails ikishoot za kwenda mashinani wewe uko sawa mimi vote yangu iko Sasa kutembea home na kurudi. So probably hiyo pia imechangia so many people to transfer their votes.
And maybe even what we witnessed with the COVID pandemic, lockdowns happened.
If someone has came to Nairobi and has stayed more than 5 years, maybe they realize that, okay, maybe this is the place where I need to set up my life. And I'm thinking, if this is the place I want to live 3-4 years, then this is the place where I need to make some impact. Maybe people have come to the realization that where they stay, maybe that's where they should vote. Because now I still registered in Nyeri. And that doesn't affect me anymore.
Kenya. We can start with CP.
To vote well. Vote well. Think about who you're voting. Think about your future. But also, to the politicians, just because you're the at some point, story yako itaisha. Yeah, man.
You can fool some people sometimes. You can,
not all the time, man.
Yes. All right, Maggie.
What I've gotten from this discussion is, even despite my reluctance to participate, that because my preference may not be the most popular candidate, is that let me just go and support them.
Yeah.
Because these are human beings too, and even if they lose, they'll feel. In the last election, only my presidential candidate won. All other but all other preferences lost, and I'm happy to see that they're also vying again. And even if
here zenye watu walikuwa wamejoin in right, anasema very good discussion. I have heard Kigame pia ako in the race to State House, to State House as well. How will this affect this game? Toka na mtu wako pia vitu hapa meza kusema kufa na mtu wako, so that we also give them that morale ya kujua as much as I'm not the top, but kuna watu who still trust in what I'm saying, si ndio? Alafu kuna Sylvia Sly wanasema I prefer nitafute kibarua tu nifanye hiyo siku ya kura. Upia mwana mimi it is not going to happen.
Wakibarua atakuwa amefunga aende
hiyo siku.
Hata atakuwa amefunga.
Ni wachache lakini. Naweza mkashana alafu mkarudi. Then there was a Kiado Ken who was trying to give us a context of why candidate had moved to a certain place. Pia kuna watu anaenda nao.
Unajua? Very nice.
Yeah. So as for me, mimi ndasema kwamba always tuko in a democratic country, kila mtu make the right choice, lakini at the end of the day kama sahi sukari ikipanda ni kila mtu. Whether you voted or not, tuko hapo wote tunaumia, unajua? So it is always good to make the rightful decision, unajua? As much as this thing is happening this way, I made the right decision. Nikaenda nikaweka vote yangu. Yes, hii kufika the 10 that I needed ilifika 8, but unajua I made a decision, nikasema kwamba this is the right person that I would like kuwa leader wangu, unajua? So always make your voice heard, even though ndasema.
Very good. And from me, we go to YouTube because we are also live streaming. Victor Simani says, mtu wetu will never change unless equal resources are given all round, bro. I think that was he was talking to you, Milimo, when you said we need to do away with mtu wetu.
Yeah, but I to some extent I will agree with him because you know mtu wetu has been tailored to the benefits that you get in the society.
Yes.
I shout your name today, you give me some 2Gs, you know. I shout your name tomorrow, there's a position that I'm getting somewhere. So that mentality, so equal distribution, hapo tuna agree vizuri.
Resources. From me, the parting shot would be very, very simple. Number one, this is our country. It is our future. That is what is on the table. Many of us young people, from our interactions, even the interviews we do as journalists, young people in Kenya are working hard. They are working tirelessly. They are innovative. They are getting opportunities out there. Like Elsa Majimbo, people are going big in Kenya. We need to put our house in order. And our house is politics. It's politics that is being run badly, and not to our benefit. It only benefits the politicians. So this is the time. And this election specifically presents a very good opportunity for the youth of Kenya to determine what the future of politics in our country will be. How we behave in this election right from the get-go. Why aren't the people who are in Form 1 in 2017 interested to become voters? That is a failure not only in the government's part, even in our part as the ones who have voted before. What have we done to inspire those 15-year-olds to become worthwhile members of our society? So for me, the call is the youth of Kenya, this is our country. We need to make the decisions that will secure our future. Our hustles, all those things, they'll tell us a lot of things, but as some speakers here said, think of yourself. And at this juncture, I'd like to conclude our show. I'd like to invite anyone in our audience who might be vying. Please reach out to us in our DMs. We'd like to speak to you. We'd like to give. So reach out in our DMs, pale Facebook, pale Twitter, pale Instagram. We will respond to you and we'll get in touch with you. This has been Pulse Siasa, brought to you by the great editors at Pulse Kenya. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for being so articulate. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.